shack at. The bottles getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, August 17th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. What a fun poker tournament last night. I got taken out by K Wolf, a play that I've questioned my attack in for about 12 hours. K Wolf also knocked out Slaughter. So K Wolf gets bounties on his way. So K Wolf, if you are watching, please connect with me, K Wolf, my friend, so we can get you the bounty for Slaughter and the bounty for myself. So many low baggers deep into the tournament. I think the Sweaty Butcher, who also has $50 coming for knocking out Jeff Slaughter, because you could rebuy. So Jeff Slaughter is with the man of honor, giving $50 payouts to anybody who knocked him out anytime, not even just the first time. Sweaty Butcher made it all the way to the end. Shout out to Dex, our man Dex, the winner of this year's first poker tournament. We had over $1,000. What? How many? 12, 13? Let's get Jose up here because it was a booze-fueled memories for the poker tournament. It was a lot of fun. It was a great success. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was a good time. Personally for me, I think the ending, if they could make the last tables blinds shorter, that would be more interesting to make that go quicker. But I loved all the action. K Wolf and our guy Dex were going back and forth, and it was a lot of fun. And
there's K Wolf in the chat. Yeah, K Wolf, hit me on Twitter if you can, because we want to get bounties to you. You knocked me out, and you also knocked off Slaughter. There he is, right there. But keep talking, my man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and the best part about it is we get to do it all again next week, next Wednesday again. It's a lot of fun. The same process as well. Let's try to get to over 60 people with all the rebuys and such. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Let's go for 100. I think we go for 100. It was extremely fun. I thought the blind levels and Andy's everything worked out perfectly. I thought it worked out perfectly. What time did the tournament finish at?
It took about 4 hours. So there you go. It was long, but yes, no, I agree.
It was extremely fun. Dex winning and K Wolf coming second. Is that right? Or K Wolf was third?
No, K Wolf was second.
K Wolf was second.
We had a monster hand at the end as well, and it was everyone freaked out. It was a great time. A lot of good hands, and I wrote down some timestamps, so we'll make a clip of it, run it back, and get everyone excited for next week. Again, you can sign up for next week already as well. Jimmy and I already signed up, so it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, it was extremely enjoyable. You did a great job hosting it. It was so much fun. So, please enter the tournament and then let us know what we can do differently if we want to raise the stakes or anything like that. We did discuss raising the stakes last night. And shout out to Dave Rogers. What place did he come? Fourth?
He was up there. Shout out to Bud.
Fourth, I think fourth. Yeah, fourth. Yeah, Rogers running hot. A lot of great work. Saturated had another deep run. It was extremely enjoyable. So thank you to
bets on you, and Saturated was a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, side bet, and then I got knocked out, and then he got knocked out on the next hand. K Wolf played me like a fiddle on that final hand.
I have a feeling we're gonna hear about this hand for a long time, aka till next week.
Yeah, I need to. I was in a good position there. I came 14th. I was in a good position to make moves, but that was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Really puts you in the poker playing state of mind, I'll tell you.
I love poker. That was a really enjoyable. We have a huge show today. We start with CFL, then NFL, then MLB, and then Teece joins us for WNBA. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Justin McElvey, stacks play of the day. Royals team total over 3.5 here for stacks. Only 6 games in MLB. Jose will be breaking them down with me. That's the 2:10 start. Kirby versus Zerpa.
Shout out to Sun Dizzle in the chat. By the way, Sun Dizzle
Yes.
joins Unmuted Mike this week as well.
Yes. Unmuted Mike, episode 3 this week, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. And Sonny Dollywall, the great
I think
comedian.
you guys need to talk, apparently, because Sonny's doing some stuff in life that you don't know about.
No idea, yeah.
So,
we don't need to know everything about each other. I mean, it's all good.
fine. Yeah, no, I get it. But maybe you guys have a conversation or two. Professor Chris.
We do. But yes, that's a big show tonight. Unmuted Mike, starring Dave Rogers and Dabracadabra, has Sun Dizzle starring in it. Londo, play of the day, St. Louis money line for Londo.
Professor Chris asking a question about the Cappers contest.
Yes.
Jimmy here. He says, how does line movement factor into the NFL Cappers contest? Like, everyone get the same line or they get the same number for each game? Yes, Chris, the lines lock. Believe they lock Friday. What is it? Thursday
Thursday morning.
Thursday. They lock on Thursday. So, for example, let's say fucking Jared Goff snaps his leg in half in practice on Friday. Whatever the line is on Thursday would be the line still on the Cappers contest. And obviously the line with fucking Teddy touchdowns would be completely different in real life. So a lot of people would obviously pick that line. So that's one of the things that happened.
Yeah, and that's in the circuit contest, that's in all contests. So we're just following suit there. But I like our rules. I think it's a lot of fun. 5 teams on a side. We're hoping to have $20,000 in the pot. We're hoping for 20,000 in the pot. We had 66 last year. Enter. We want 200 this year. $100 a pop. Sammy Comer says, "What up, fam? Heartbreaker on the Rays. First 500 yesterday. It sucked. We did cash the full game. It was a 4 and 5 day for me. I just can't get right. Can't get right." Professor Chris says, ready for another one today. Oh, asking about the poker tournament. There's NJ Striker, Atlanta, Wake and Bake, serious business. Mike Wilkerson saying that Cubs walk-off was epic. It was epic, but that was so easy, the under 11. How easy did we cash that under in that game? Guxfi, ready to go. Maybe Guxfi. Maybe it's Guxfi. Jay Smooth, saturated. Great work in the poker tournament last night. Ronnie Imbergia, Billy Friedrich says, still pissed at the White Sox implosion last night. Professor Chris digging the heavy bass from our guy, Jay Peasy. Jay Peasy dropped another banger this morning on his Twitter. You guys should follow Jay Peasy. It's at LA to the Bay all day, is it? Right? That's let me just get there. LA to the Bay. Let me get Jay Peasy up here. LA to the Bay all day is his Twitter handle. What a guy. He dropped another banger for us this morning. He is the voice you hear to start out the show. Please follow our guy, JPZ. He's just money in the bank, man. Money in the bank. And Slatsy says, great look on those 2 plays for first score in the Elks game, considering the weather in Hamilton. And speaking of everybody talking about the weather in Hamilton, it's fine. I don't know why there's any concern with it. I really, I don't know why. I know that earlier in the week there was supposed to be rain, but I keep hearing that people are worried about the weather in Hamilton. Nothing is wrong with the weather in Hamilton until late tonight. I guess people think the thunder shower will start during the game. I don't know. I think that thunder shower will start later. I guess this site says it starts at 8. We'll see. I'm very interested when that thunder shower comes. I think it's possible that thunder shower can come near the end of the game, Slatsy. It's the time of that thunder shower keeps being pushed and pushed and pushed. So I'm not as concerned about the weather. But I can't wait to break down the game. I've had a bad CFL season, but I can fix it. I hope to fix it here. There's Mal in the house. Says, what up, family? Astros, Dodgers got me paid. A Dav fan said, a bad start with the Tigers game, but great finish with Reds, Astros, Dodgers run line. There's Rocco Rogers in the house. Hunter Engelhart. Dex one. Hunter, you were great too, man. Excellent work. It was fun rolling with K Wolf. It's fun seeing OG low baggers getting that cash. Crypto-ish, ready to get to work. Great to see all of you guys. Saturated says, I still think we need to limit the number of games people are allowed to vote on. Otherwise, we're going to be taking the Chiefs and Eagles every week. I don't think we are saturated because it's a members-only show. It's our first members-only show. And look, if we have our members and we are very public week one, then we'll change things. But I think having it only members, I think that we should have sharper action in this year's Cappers Contest show. Jose and I host a show that is solely about the Cappers Contest because we have our own, in that show, we have our own circa entry that Jeff Slaughter pays for. So, and if we could, do well in that would be huge, huge, huge for us, man. It'd make the season so much fun as well. Saturated says, I was salty about losing. I hate finishing outside the money. Was fun though. Can't wait to do it again. Yeah, you were great, Saturated. You were awesome as always. Kong's Clips, thank you for playing last night. So much fun. There's DC Capper in the house. Arnillo. It's funny yesterday. There were some things that really happened that we talked about. One is, we talked about Reed Detmers. And I was like, we see this so often when a pitcher who's good has two bad starts in a row, and people expect him to have a third bad start, and it just never happens. And, he shoved yesterday. And there was another spot on yesterday's card that I was like, oh, that was exactly what we had discussed during the show. And let me just move over again and just get a reminder of yesterday. Great seeing everybody cash with Cincinnati. Oh, it was a Liberator, and it was great staying off that Phillies Jays under. But God, we should have got paid in full in fading Liberator. And then I talked about my vividness bias and screwed that up. I screwed that up badly, very, very badly last night. It was great to see all you guys. Roger that, ready to get to work. Robert Franklin finished 13th. Nice performance. Razor Sharp Pick says that he beat Ski last night, and that's all that matters. Sun Dizzle, Ronnie Imbergia, Viper NB, J Rowe. It's a great group. Mike Wilkerson, ready to go. Love seeing all you guys here. Mally Mal. All right, it is time to get started here. There's Nate Dogg, 420. Chris says, just bet Seattle and Mets money line parlay and says, wish me luck. Good luck, Chris. AOD, ready to get to work. Jay Peasy says, Cubs walk off, never sweated that game. Stimmy OG says, my bad, Jimmy didn't get in the poker tournament. I had to be a professional boyfriend and socialize with my ladies' friend's boyfriend. Okay, whatever it is. And Saturated says, yeah, Stroman done for the year. We talked about that last night. Don't worry, Stimmy, another poker tournament next Wednesday. And I loved it. It was extremely enjoyable. All right, let's get to work in CFL. We start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Edmonton Elks 0-9, 0-4 on the road at the Hamilton Tiger Cats 3-5, 1-3 at home. We're at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, Ontario. 75 Fahrenheit, sunny, 14 miles per hour is the wind. Now, it starts sunny, but there is a thunder shower that's going to come at some point. But it's been continually pushed back. So we'll have to go, it's probably a live betting situation here. I've made 4 bets on this game. And I decided to make them all, because I have 2 props, but I made them all 1 unit. I did drop my unit size from 200 to 150 because of my lackluster season. So I have 4 bets on this game. Let's talk about the line history first. We're going to get into NFL right after this, and then we will get into MLB. So Slatsy and I and others have been talking about the gift that Taylor Powell is. And this line is moving very quickly towards the Tiger Cats. And that's a bit of a surprise. I've seen lots of people believing that this is an Elks spot. I'm not one of them. We now have 5.5s on the board here. I don't know what the hell happened here. Let me just move forward. This lost the market moves. But we have 5.5s now on the board. You've been able to get anywhere between 3.5 and 5.5. Also, this total, it was at 44.5 everywhere. It was at 45.5 at Bet365. You could have got it at 46 at some spots. All right, could have got at 46 at some spots. So let me talk about this spot because I feel the only concern I have here is just that these teams coming off of buys in the Canadian Football League just look really sloppy early. They look really sloppy early. For the Tiger Cats, the coaches' jobs are on the line. And that's the only thing that makes me a little nervous about my action. That's the only thing, is that the Tiger Cats need to come in focused. But I think because these coaches are about to get fired. I mean, Mark Washington's about to get fired. He's been a defensive coordinator there since 2019. If he can't step up with this defense, he's going to get fired. Eric Jones is on the over, and I can understand everybody just saw the Elks put up 29 points against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But when Winnipeg started playing defense, the Elks scored 7 more points in that game, and that was really early. And one of those 7 points was on a pick 6, and 7 of those points was on the very first play from scrimmage, a Brown rush. So I do not believe at all in the Elks offense. They have Trey Ford now at quarterback. Yes, he's given them a huge boost. But now you have Mark Washington's job on the line, and he's had 2 weeks to prepare for Trey Ford. You have Emmanuel Arsenault, former All-Star, now 35 years old. He comes back to the Elks. He catches 2 passes. He's not the same guy. Now, you do have Geno Lewis, who was a finalist for Most Outstanding Player last year. He's coming back for these Elks at wide receiver. He could help, but this is not the quarterback you want to have in Trey Ford if you want to put up any kind of numbers receiving. He's a dual threat. When he had his first start for the Elks in 2022, he was the first Canadian to start at quarterback for the Elks, I believe, since 1968. I thought I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, 1968. And there's a lot of hope for him. I mean, he's a Waterloo University football player. We haven't had a Canadian quarterback who played in Canadian universities step up in this league. So the Elks coming off a 38-29 Week 10 loss at home to the Blue Bombers. They got out to the 22-0 lead before the Bombers mounted a comeback with Drew Brown at quarterback with their backup. Yes, Trey Ford sparked the offense. 12 of 16 for 196 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and he ran 5 times for 50 yards. I just think that Mark Washington, with his goddamn job on the line, has to be able to put up a defensive game plan to stop a dual threat quarterback in Trey Ford. He has to be able to. The Ticats were last seen in a 27-14 loss to the Alouettes. They fell apart in the second half, getting outscored 24-3. Taylor Powell has been forced to start due to injuries to both Levi Mitchell and Matthew Schultz. Powell gets completions. He went 20 of 31, but for 202 yards, his average pass depth is 8.8 yards. He can't throw deep. He's not very mobile. He's not good in the red zone. And either is Trey Ford. Neither of them are good in the red zone. The fact that the last time the Elks were in play, and because of both teams' bad defenses, I can understand people betting the over. I saw people betting the over, and I get it. And I don't think that Eric Jones, you should have anything to worry about. Trust your cap here. But the Elks are going to be moving the ball on the ground the whole time. That's what they are going to do. Hamilton's D is bad on the ground, allows 121.6 rushing yards per game. But I simply do not think that – I know that Trey Ford in the red zone, his weapon is his legs. Mark Washington's got to figure out that and have a spy on him at all times. So, look, whenever I say look, I feel like I'm trying to prove something. But this Ticat offense can do nothing with Powell under center. They're missing Joel Figueroa at left tackle and Chris Van Zyl at offensive tackle. Those are 2 stars on their offensive line. I am on the under. First half, under 22. I'm on the full game, under 45.5. And I'm also expecting field goals in this game and not magic in the red zone. I've taken first score, method of the score. This is what I talk about. That I did put a full unit on. A field goal for the Elks, it's plus 375. And for the Ticats, it's plus 300. First score, field goal. And obviously, I have a lot invested in it. Spreadsheet play today is in from Ron Crawford. Slatsy's on K. Brown. plus 57.5. Slatsy says Ford beat the Tiger Cats in Hamilton last year, 29-25. I think the big difference here, Slatsy, is we have a man's job on the line if his defense doesn't step up here today. If the Elks put up 30 points on the Ticats, Mark Washington is going to get fired. And he's had a bye week to put this together. And the market's moving towards the Ticats, and I think it should be. So that's my thoughts here. Now, I've had a bad CFL season. So if you're on the other side of me, you can do it with confidence. There you go. That is our CFL breakdown. Let's move on to NFL. We are 4-4 right now. I'm disappointed in that record. Cleveland Browns at Philadelphia Eagles. We're at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 80 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy. 10 miles per hour is the wind. Let's go through the line history here. BJ NFL preseason bet. He's on the Eagles money line for 3 units. BJ, you were absolutely right about Ross Stripling yesterday, and I was very wrong about Ross Stripling. And best bet for MLB is the Dodgers. The Dodgers for BJ, correlating right with our guy Ron Crawford, whose spreadsheet play of the day is also on the Dodgers, but Ron Crawford on the -1. Pop this in here. Philly Eagle Flyer here. Justin McElvey on the Browns plus 3.5. Let's take a look at the line history here on this one. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this one works. The CFL did not work. Let's go to line history here in NFL and get over to Penny. So a lot of books are hanging 3.5s right now. The sharp books are hanging 4s. Well, I mean, Bookmaker and BetCris are still hanging at 3.5, so not all sharp books. But Pinnacle is hanging a 4 here. And these teams have been practicing against each other, and the Eagles defense has been manhandling the Browns all week in practice. All week, just manhandling them. It's been bully ball. This opened up at 3. The first move was towards the Browns, 2.5. That didn't last long. There was a jump from 2.5 to 4. 4 back to 3.5, and now back at 4 right now. It moved back to 4 at 10:23 a.m. for the Eagles 4-point favorites. From a total scenario here, we are sitting. It's now at 30. Jesus Christ. I just bet this. Holy shit. I bet this an hour ago. Wow. I just bet this at 37.5. At 11:03, it moved to 37. At 11:06, it moved down to 35. And that was deemed too much. At 11:19, it's back at 35.5. But some books are at 35. My God. Wow. Thank God I didn't feel like I needed to talk it out. This total went up to 39. It went up to 39.5 at some places. And then came back down to 37.5. Wow. This is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. I literally bet this. Jesus. We're talking not even, was it an hour ago? No, it was 41 minutes ago. My God. Mally Mouse's favorites between -3 and -4.5 have been covering a lot in preseason. Okay. So here we go. Saturated saying is someone sitting. I don't know why that's moved right now. Mike M in the house says the Gen record on the line today. Browns first half under 19.5 -115. 3-0 start to the CFL season or NFL season. I love it. I love that bet. I'm taking the full game, and I don't think it'll come back to haunt me. Obviously, now that we've seen it drop to 35 really quickly and 35.5, maybe it's a spot where I should have doubled up, but that's too late now. Sharpie says, with a 3-game preseason, how long do the starters play in the second game? I'm used to the third game, play a half, play a quarter in the fourth. So are we getting a half full of starters? We are not. We are not getting that. We have heard from the coaches, and let's break this down together. So, but one thing we can do here is we can look at the cash. 76% of the tickets and 98% of the cash are on the under in this one. And we just saw a monster move today. On the spread, you have 72% of tickets and 77% of cash on the Browns, and the line's moving towards the Eagles. Anybody sitting there with Browns action should be uncomfortable, I believe. But do you want the Eagles here, even if they have so much more depth defensively and even on the offensive line, so much more depth than the Browns, do you want them as this big of a favorite? So let's break this down. First off, Kevin Stefanski is 5-3 in preseason, straight up. Nick Sirianni is 1-5. I talked about these teams practicing against each other this week and the domination of the Eagles defense. The Eagles coming off a 2019 loss at Baltimore. I believe that Sirianni does not care at all about the preseason, except when you're going up against Harbaugh. And he tried. And they dominated the ball possession battle. And I expect them to dominate the ball possession battle again here tonight. But the starters are not expected to get much action. The one thing that we've learned from Sirianni from last year, when he would play in the second week, he played Minshew the entire first half. So there is a belief that Marcus Mariota will play the entire first half. Then Tanner McKee will come in. Stanford product, 6th-round pick, and he looked really good. 10 of 20, 148 yards, 7.4 yards per attempt. And then itty-bitty Book will come in and look awful. He'll come in and look terrible. Book went 1 for 11 for 11 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, and was sacked twice. And sacked for 21 yards. Joe Yurkowitz says defense can score, put the offense in good position. I hear you. Absolutely. There is also an expectation that we're going to see Rashad Penny and DeAndre Swift for a little bit. And that will help the Eagles early. Cleveland is expected to use a rotation of Dobbs, Mond, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. There is a legit battle for the backup spot between Dobbs and Mond. As soon as Book comes in, that could be not until the fourth quarter, could be earlier, depending on how long Mariota's in. Maybe you live bet the Browns. Maybe you do. But there's just such a depth dominance here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And my cap here, Mike M saying Sirianni 0-3-1 against the spread as a favorite in the NFL preseason. My cap here is predicated on Sirianni with the much better team and not caring at all. That's it. So you have a defense that can continue their dominance throughout the week as they've been doing in practice. They'll do it here on the field, but Sirianni is not going to care. It's going to be as vanilla a playbook as you could possibly imagine. And so I'm on the under 37.5. There you go. Lou Chase Fox says, I need 36 or less to feel like it's a good over. Are you all going back to the well with the Dodgers? Okay, we're going to talk about all of that, but I'm in. Under 37.5 at -110. That number has dropped so fast here. And right now at Bet365, it's 35.5. Tomorrow we have Panthers, Giants, and Bengals, Falcons that we will be discussing. But it is now time to move on to MLB. So two unders for me in football tonight. But I'm heavily invested in Edmonton Hamilton. And look, if you're going to move on the first method of score to be a field goal, just remember that there are rouges in the CFL that can screw us. I do not have concern that a touchdown is going to be the first score, but I do have some concern about a goddamn rouge. And I'm on the first half under and full game under, and then I'm on the full game under in Browns Eagles. Daryl Turner says like Elks first half and under with the Eagles first half and under with the Aces first half for Daryl Turner. All right, let's. Remo says 35.5 seems too low. Clearly the market moved with the idea that the dominant team doesn't care. And you can put that into your own game script, however you see fit. There's our guy Wine Time Sports. Says 5:30 out here in Hawaii. We'll have my play shortly. Respect Wine Time. Fighting the good fight. Wine Time Sports. Okay, let's get into
Wine Time Sports, who's going to pop the question,
Yeah. Yeah, but she's probably sleeping right now, so we're gonna, let him pop the question whenever he's good and ready. Sharon Terry in the house. What up? All right, Jose, come back to us. Come back to us. It is time to talk MLB. Are you ready to rock, my friend?
Yeah, sparse card today, but see if we can get into something disgusting today.
How was your day yesterday?
It was good. Yeah, I've already forgotten how many bets I won, but I only lost 2 of my bets. I'm only down 18 units now, so that was great. But it was a good night overall. Shout out to the Reds. Shout out to all the plays that cash. Mike M cashing his pimp slap play. I liked as well. The Noah Syndergaard fan wagon continues to be a nice one, you know. Shout out to Noah. I believed in him, and here we are now. He's been a good pitcher for us. But
Also, the ribeye play of the day cashed in the first inning with Ryan McMahon.
yeah, and shout out to Rocco, who just cashed all of his like Christian Walker props in like 2 innings or something like that. So good night in the chat. All the Reds bets cashed, so it was a fun time.
And Mike M will be joining us at some point for more plays of the day, Jose. So if you could send him a link, I'm not sure which plays of the day, when he will jump on. So, but he will be joining us for more glory. All right, let's move on to our first game on today's slate, Jose, 2:10 p.m. Eastern. We've already heard from Justin McElvey. The stacks play today is on the Royals. Team total over 3.5. We are in Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's start with the weather for this one. Get over to Swish and Ballpark Pal. Let me also get an idea. I've only made 2 bets pre-show. I made them last night. We talked about them. We talked about them on our show last night, and I pulled trigger. And there were some leans I had, but I've only made 2 bets, and they're on one game, and that's the Dodger game. How many bets have you made coming into the show?
I haven't made any, but I'm looking at 2 that I will probably make. So we'll see how that goes. But none as of now, and none on the Red Sox game. Spoiler alert there.
It was excellent to have Sharpie in the poker tournament. He was so much fun in the poker tournament too. Slaughter was so much. God, these guys were so much fun.
We got him in. He had some trouble getting in at first, and he was perturbed, but we got him in successfully.
We got him in. 85 Fahrenheit, 10 miles per hour in. Left to right, but in. Stays between 10 and 10.9 miles per hour. This is minus 30% for home runs, but don't get too caught up in that number because it's plus 12% for doubles and triples, plus 22% for singles, and plus 11% for runs. So we have double-digit offense expected. Mally Mouse says, I love Seattle first 5. Says his dog Kirby on the bump. Luchase Fox says Royals are melting down Mariners run line. All right. Mariners, Royals, Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. And Nutflush Allen says, sorry I'm late, but good morning, boys and girls. Says PSA announcement, do not try to play poker and drive a big rig. You still played well, Nutflush. You still played well. Dav Fenn says Kirby's last 2 games, 16 innings, 6 hits, and 1 run. Mally Mouse says the Mariners need to win. Billy Friedrich says the Royals have scored 36 runs in the last 5 games. Both teams score here. Let's take a look at the line history for this one, and then the cash flow. Set a quick table and hear how Jose wants to move on this one. We have Kirby going up against Zerpa, and we have these Mariners as big favorites. Zerpa did not look good in his last appearance. Seattle opening up at minus 200. Now they're minus 205. This didn't open up until 8:49 a.m. at Pinnacle, so not much movement there. Very slight move towards the Mariners. From a total standpoint, this opened up at 9 everywhere, and it dropped. It went up to 9.5 at 10:08 a.m. Went up to 10:08 a.m. and then dropped again to 10:45. At 10:45 a.m. dropped back to 9. So right now there's actually just been 5 cents of movement, but to the under. Even though you might think it's to the over, it's to the under. Joe Yerger says seems like an under to me, but that's just a hot take. Well, let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot and see what we are dealing with. Cash wise, we have 18% of tickets on the Royals and 44% of cash. From a total perspective, you have 32% of tickets on the under and 63% of cash. It does feel like a spot where there's sharps on this under, even though a lot would tell you, especially if you're watching the Royals play, that this game would go over. We have Kirby on the hill, 10-8, 3.11 ERA, 1 WHIP, 144 and 2/3, 131 Ks, 14 walks. And 15 homers. His last start was absolutely spectacular. And these Mariners pitchers, I feel like the young studs, the Logan Gilberts, the Kirbys, they don't seem to be able to put together back-to-back stellar performances. Mally asking, how is Seattle versus lefties? Kirby's a righty, so there's no concern there. And the Royals are smashing righties and smashing lefties right now. 287, 812 OPS against righties. And she's not on the name of the woman with the big tits who's going to be on the show tonight is Sunny Dollywall. So the woman that you're speaking about, Zerpa the lefty. Sorry, what am I doing? I'm tripping out. Sorry, man. It was late night. Sorry. Of course, Kirby's already. So how are the Mariners against lefties? Sorry, of course, that's what you're asking. My bad. Zerpa, and I'll pull that up here. Zerpa, 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 1 homer, 2 Ks, and a 12-8 win at home versus Cardinals last out. He is being bad. We did a deep dive on him last week, and I thought that he, we know that the Cardinals smashed lefties. I thought he was capable of pitching okay there. He did not. Yes, Londo, I can give you her name. It is. There you go, my friend. So, Jose, this is the situation. We have it looks like sharp action on the Royals and on the under, but Zerpa has not looked good. Take it away for us, Jose. What are your thoughts on Zerpa? And can you pull up Mariners versus lefties for us?
Yeah, the Mariners against lefties since July 1st, 111 weighted runs created plus. I forget which that is best in the league or what that is ranked in the league, but it's obviously 11% above average. And then full season, they're 17th, 100 even. So hitting them a little better. I actually do like the under in this game just because I think George Kirby has taken that next step to being really good. He had that shutout against the Orioles. Before that, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run against the Angels at the Angels. I think he's just really, really good. He's putting up historic K to walk numbers. He's got 1 walk per 9 innings, I believe, something like that. It's crazy. He's just throwing strikes, and no one seems to hit him. So I think this could be an under game. This could be kind of like the Braves Yankees games. Those last 2 games, everyone thought was going over with Severino and then Randy Vasquez, but both went under just because the Yankees offense really didn't participate at all. And they obviously got held down 2-0 yesterday. But I think the Royals could just get shut out here, and then the Mariners put up, 5-6 runs, and that could be just a nice, easy under. But I have not moved on this game. I just I'm a little trepidatious, I guess, but I do like the under in this game.
It's a weak lineup for both squads. Travel day. For the Mariners, confirmed lineup: Rodriguez, Genie Suarez, Ty France, Teo Hernandez, Dylan Moore, O'Keefe, Caballero, Marlowe, and Haggerty. You have Marlowe in left field and Haggerty in right field. For the Royals, Garcia, Witt, Massey, Velasquez, Melendez, Furman, Drew Waters at DH, Matt Duffy. You have a Matt Duffy appearance. And Kyle Eibel, that's in center. These are 2 weak lineups. 2 weak lineups. Dabby Cap saying everyone's wondering if we have a beautiful guest lined up, and Miss Tush got a boob job and we'll be coming back again soon. Interesting. Says we're going to get fucked up and laugh our asses off tonight. It's from Dabby Cab. Yes, we have a great comic on the show. Joey Irv says the data tells me KC team total over, but my instinct is this game goes under. Gifted Cartel says I like the Royals team total over 3.5. We got that from the Stacks play of the day. And Sharpie says, in case I'm not here, Lance Lynn, since being a Dodger, has scrapped his 2-seamer and cutter, mostly four-seam, and scrapped his slider to more curveballs. The analytics of the Dodgers doing wonders again. That's great. Thank you, Sharpie. I will copy and paste that. I need to start putting together winning days, and this just does not appeal to me. I do not want Kirby after a complete game shutout now on the road in the afternoon against the Royals, who are hitting right now. Not that I don't think he'll take care of business, but I don't want to be involved here, and I'm not going to be involved. Do you want to get involved here with an official pick?
No. Again, I lean first 5 under 9. I have it at even money. I wrote it down, but I'm not going to move on it officially yet.
All right. Well, we have more afternoon action than just that. Let's move on to the next stop on the board. 4:05 p.m. Eastern, Boston Red Sox at Washington Nationals. The Nationals were very good to us. Mackenzie Gore was very good to us. And here we go. We have our guy Mike M with plays of the day on 2 games. He will be joining us for our next game. And actually, our next game's back-to-back after this one. But let's cap this Red Sox game. Jose, your Red Sox not looking good in a must-win situation. We're at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. Chris Sale against Patrick Corbin. The Red Sox are not hitting lefties at all. Since July 15th, 239 with a 652 OPS. And Patrick Corbin coming off a nice start, not allowing an earned run at Philadelphia, and they hit lefties very hard. Now they didn't get to Kikuchi in the last start. Let's take a look at Washington weather. 90 Fahrenheit, 7.7 miles per hour out to left center, between 7.7 and 7.4. Let's get over to Ballpark Pals expectation of Nationals Park, plus 12% homers, plus 17% doubles and triples, plus 14% runs. So they're expecting offense in this spot. Nate Dogg looking at Washington on the run line. Gifted Cartel looking at the Nats team total over 3.5. And Sharpie saying Sale pitched only 58 pitches last time. Going to be on the 75 pitch count or near that. So Johnny Gunn says Royals have been raking, and I think Seattle will get their share first 5 over there. Okay, Red Sox, Nats. Let's take a look at the line of history for this one. I would like to back Sale in this spot, but at what price is the question? And Corbin is at home where he's a little better. This total opened up at 9.5 minus 115 to the under. It's now just minus 104 to the under. So we've had 10 cents of movement, or 11, depending on what side you're looking at, but 10 cents of movement to the over, from plus 102 to minus 108. And from a money line perspective, we're sitting here with Sale opening up around minus 185. He opened up at minus 183 at Pinnacle. And it's just been a constant move down. Now, it's nothing drastic, but 10 cents of movement. So we have a 10 cents of movement to the over, a 10 cents of movement to the Nationals. Let's pull up the cash flow for this one. We have, on the total, 62% of the tickets and 91% of cash on the over. Then we have 27% of tickets and 56% of cash on Corbin and the Nats. Chris Sale, his first start, as Sharpie said, 58 pitches. That made it through 4 2/3. He allowed 2 earned runs, 1 jack, 7 Ks, and no walks. Nasty Nate, what a fun guy to cap with. I love the man. Says getting knocked out 3 spots before the money just made me punt one of these seagulls down here at the dock. Well, back in action a week from now, Nate, and I know you're going to get that cash, man. I know you're going to get that cash. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so Professor Chris says his model says Nats money line plus 157 here, so not a big enough discrepancy. Nats run line, though, looks good. Model says minus 123. He got plus 1.5 at plus 100. So we'll hear from Jose about his thoughts on Chris Sale after I discuss Corbin, but Sale's not been good on the road this year. 32 innings, 4-2, 5.34 ERA, 272 opponents batting average. Patrick Corbin, 7-11, 4.85 ERA, 1.50 whip. I talked about his last spot at Philadelphia. He looked pretty good. At home, is he that much better? Not really. A 4.78 ERA. He's only allowed 7 home runs in 69 2/3, but that doesn't tell the whole story because opponents are hitting 323 off of him at home. The Nats are smashing lefties, 271, 70, 89, and both bullpens are vulnerable. JP just says Turner, Duvall, Story, and Urias batting over 330 versus Corbin. If there's ever a day Sox can hit a lefty, it's today. We discussed this game yesterday while we were playing poker, and now you've got to sleep on it, Jose. Your Boston Red Sox and Chris Sale in play. Take it away.
Before I go, Taint is in.
Oh, really?
Shout out to Matty Ice. Tank
Tank played days in.
first
Okay.
5 under in Cleveland, Detroit. Very interesting. Also, I've got that written down, Matty Ice, so I love to see that. And what was the other thing that I had? I forgot already what the second thing was. Oh, well. I lean over in this game. I'm always, again, I've talked about this. The second starts coming off the IL is always a scary one for me. I always am kind of wary of betting a pitcher. I always typically want to fade a pitcher at that spot. Nationals hit lefties well. We all kind of know that as their thing. The Red Sox, as people are saying, they struggled against lefties here since the last time we spoke about them. I'll bring up their numbers. Specifically, since last month, the Red Sox are 19th, 94 weighted runs created plus, so a little below average there. Full season, they're 16th, 101 weighted runs created plus. It's interesting because I looked at the last 2 pitchers they faced that were lefties. I couldn't think of them off the top of my head, so I had to look back, and it was the Royals' Alec Marsh, who was a follower, and diced them up, which is kind of disgusting. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks. And then they got to Tariq Skubal the other day. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. I do think they have the bats to get to Patrick Corbin here. Like people have mentioned, it's nice because Duvall has seen him a ton, obviously being on the Braves. Justin Turner's seen him a bunch. So that's nice as well. And Rob Refsnyder's a lefty killer on the Red Sox. So I am a little worried about them. I wouldn't bet them money line here at -170. I think that's a bit aggressive. I think this Red Sox team is very hit or miss. But I definitely lean over. I don't know if I'm going to move to get to the window there, but it's written down on my card as well.
Now,
and maybe the first 5 over too, by the way.
Sharpie talking about Skubal says Skubal has an issue with lefties. Red Sox put in 3 lefties versus a lefty, and Corbin's numbers are way better versus lefties than righties.
Yeah, they're very lefty heavy. It's a curse of having Rafael Devers your best hitter, and then Casas has been amazing, and it's an issue for the Red Sox. But I'm hoping it gets resolved. But I have not moved on the game officially, like I said.
Well, we have 96% of cash here on that over. 66% of tickets, 96% of cash. So you'd want to see, real movement towards that over. We didn't see it at Pinnacle. We saw what Pinnacle has moved.
I don't know about you, Jimmy, but when I was on Bet Online, they moved it down to 9 for like 5 minutes apparently, and then they just popped it right back up to 9.5.
Wow, they more than 9 minutes. They had it at 9 for 3 hours and 45 minutes.
See, so it's that was interesting that they dropped it down, and then still all the money came in on the over, and then put it back up.
Yeah. Okay, this doesn't feel comfortable for me. Odds bunch, our guy Sharpie says, seems like Corbin may have a good day-to-day. Quality start isn't out of the question. AOD says Nats smash. And Nunya says, finally able to catch the show today. Work has me swamped the past few weeks. Let's grind. Yes, let's grind. Sharpie says the numbers versus lefties of the Nats are only good for 5 innings. Yeah. And then we get the pen. Yeah.
The Red Sox pen I believe in too. So, yeah, that's why I was specifically looking at maybe first 5 over, but yeah.
Yeah, and Gift the Cartel leaning towards the Nats over 3.5 for the full game. JP just says Red Sox that see Corbin the best are righties. He's talking himself into betting the game. And Nasty Nate says Red Sox smash. Fool. Billy Friedrich says he'll get smashed. Okay, so there's a lot of back and forth. All right. I initially, it's sort of a gambler's first glance thing. I wanted to be involved with Chris Sale in this game, thinking that that's just simple, right? You want a back Sale. Corbin's bad, not to be trusted. Joe versus Sale looked great versus the Tigers. He did look great. He allowed the 2 earned runs, so his numbers in the end weren't that good. Just why don't you touch on how he looked to you in that start?
He looked really, really good, actually. Well, his velocity was there. I can double check on Baseball Savant to make sure I'm not dreaming dreams of Chris Sale's success, but I'm pretty sure he was like hitting 97. And it was pretty interesting to see it because everyone that's a Red Sox fan kind of winces every time he comes back because it's, very interesting to see him come back again and again and again. And this was the most unheralded of his returns because every time he comes back, everyone's all excited because they think they're going to get the old Chris Sale. Now it's happened so many times that we kind of don't expect much at this point, really, with Chris Sale. So it was nice to see him pitch well. He threw his max was 96.5. His average was around 94, 95, which is, playable for Chris Sale because it used to be porous, like 90s. So I'm glad he's throwing hard. And it's kind of like with Paxton as well. It has to be faster than his changeup or it won't work out for him. So I like Chris Sale, but my main thing is I think he might struggle here on his second start because I just see constantly the difficulty of a second start coming off the IL. For whatever reason, it just does not go well.
And there is our guy, Dexter Pope, the winner of our poker tournament last week. He's a class act, too. He's a great guy, a lot of fun to be with. And he had, he won with a lot of class. And it's not easy to do in poker. He was great. So congratulations, Dexter Pope. So he will be in the $100 Cappers contest this year. Peter Loshak, our first champion. He will also get the $109 ticket. Those of you who are in the top 3, K-Wolf 2, you get the $109 ticket. And excellent work, my friend. Excellent work.
Where's our guy, a newbie?
Yes, yeah, we never got to know who that person was. All right. I'm off.
Dexter, by the way, email pubsportsradio@gmail.com so we can get you into the Cappers contest.
Yeah, that's a good call, Dexter. Yeah, if you just say that you won the poker tournament, we'll get it all hooked up.
Yeah,
our guy Sean will take care of it. Okay, let's move on to 7:15 p.m. Eastern. We have the Detroit Tigers 54-66, 28-33 on the road. The Cleveland Guardians 58-63, 31-28 at home. And we've already heard from Matty Ice. The taint play of the day is in, and it is Detroit Cleveland first 5 under 4.5 at -110. Shout out to our guy Matty Ice. Taint is in. We've been talking a lot about taint here in our house over the last 48 hours too. A lot of taint conversations. Really? Yeah, a lot of taint conversations. One of my girlfriend's cousins always asks if I've cleaned my taint. Is my taint being washed? That's one of her first questions for me. And she was here yesterday, interested in how my taint was doing.
How is it doing?
Sloppy. We're Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's get into the weather here for us. 74 Fahrenheit and drizzle, and there's rain. 68 Fahrenheit, rain a couple hours in. Sharpie did not believe that this game would go today, but we can still do our due diligence.
I really hope it does.
Well, that doesn't. You're not alone. You are not alone. Pimp Slap is here for you. Mikey M from the Dirty Chester. He's moving on this game as well. Mike, how are you, my man?
Man, great little musical intro from my guy Jimmy the Bag. And the question I had is, it sounds like last night there was quite a bit of taint on the tip of your tongue. Is that fair to say?
No, that is unfair to say. That's unfair to say. It's definitely unfair to say. There was no taint on my tongue. Zero taint. I was here boozing heavily at poker. the whole time. So not fair.
Sorry, I missed it. It looked like you guys are having fun, and I'll certainly be a part of the next one. But I had some things didn't work out in the cards last night. But sounds like fun. Always a good time to hang out with Pub Sports.
It was so much fun, man. It was so much fun, and the blind structure is perfect. Like it's a really, really enjoyable tournament, and I love the buy-ins for the first 3 levels, so you can go get after it. You got to get after it. You only have 75 big blinds, but they do a nice job. They do a nice job. It was really, really enjoyable. And shout out to Dexter Pope, our first winner. Comes to us from North Carolina here. All right. So first off, Mikey, do you think this game goes today?
They're usually a couple hours ahead of me from a weather perspective, and it does look overcast. It looks like there is elements that could sprinkle in the air here, which I certainly don't like, but heavy winds, and I'm hoping that enough of that wind will clear out. It's going to get cloudy as the afternoon kind of rolls on, but it's a 7:15 start, so I'm going to take a shot at it either way. I hope so. I'm optimistic we see a game here today, and it'll be a real shame if we don't.
Ballpark Pal, if this game goes, sees a ton of offense, plus 29% homers, plus 33% doubles and triples, plus 17% runs. This is the most offensive numbers Ballpark Pal has put out for a game at Progressive Field all season long. All season long. Let's go into the line history here for this one, and we'll start with the total. Total here. We have it opening up at 8.5 and no movement. Let's come over here. We're sitting at a pick'em right now. This opened up basically here. There was movement to the under. The under got up to minus 111. And then 3 hours ago, the over started getting hammered. The over got up to minus 116 when the under moved to plus 103. And right now we're sitting at a pick'em, a 1 cent move to the over. That's it. 1 cent move to the over. From a money line standpoint, Scooball versus Xavier Curry. We have Scooball and the Tigers getting bet. They're opening up at minus 112, now minus 132, 20 cents of movement towards Tariq Scooball. Now, when we're talking about the sample size of this young season, it's too small probably, but the extremes of his splits must be discussed. At home, Tariq Scooball has thrown 18 in the third innings and not allowed a single run. On the road, he's thrown 14 innings. He's allowed 21 hits, 15 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks, just 1 jack. Now, the sample size is low, and I don't know, but it should be mentioned. Xavier Curry on the other side, 3.39 ERA, 1.19 whip. The reason why Savali was, shippable was because they had Curry who was going to step into the spot. He did not look good in his last start against Savali. 9-8 loss at the Rays. He allowed 5 earned runs. Savali looked bad too. But at home, he's been very good. 34 innings, 2-0, 2.65 ERA, 24 strikeouts, 10 walks, 2 homers, 218 opponents batting average. The Tigers versus righties, 255, 727. Guardians versus lefties, 216, 578, the worst in Major League Baseball. And both bullpens have been bad. We take a look at the cash here. We have 73% of the tickets and 94% of cash on the under. Well, the line has not moved, and there was a big move just recently to the over. Then on the money line here, we have 75% of the tickets, 81% of cash on the Tigers, and the market is moving towards the Tigers. Mike M. Yeah. Is this hip flap? Is this the ribeye? Is it the hip to be square? Lead us on a journey, Mike.
We had a 2-in-1 spot yesterday with the catalog of plays there, the arsenal of pimp slappery, and I was disappointed with the way that Boston game turned out, Boston, Texas. But this is just a play that I like. It's not any of the above, but we'll get to those other ones as well. And to me, it's a Detroit Tigers spot. What I will say is, if it rains, this game's going to blast over the total. That's my expectation. Whether it starts rainy, it gets rainy somewhere in between it. These Detroit Tigers spots where this total's been between 7.5 and 8.5 have been screaming over the number. And, obviously the uncertainty that creates with the lineup and a guy in Curry. I expect Curry to go under his strikeout prop as well. There's going to be a ton of, I think, contact from this perspective. You guys know my play with Detroit is if they get scores in that first inning, I like to go in there and start to live bet that under. as another kind of a positive or a live line look at this thing here. But I'm just not confident that, that we don't start in the rain. I do think it does start, though, in that perspective. So the reason I like Detroit, though, here is it's pretty straightforward. When they're coming off of a win, previous loss, they're playing the division. They're in a 24-10 straight up spot. Strong opportunity for Detroit, who has been getting really great contact as of late. The entire lineup for Detroit very much in play today. You look at Riley Green, very productive offensive player. Matt Vierling, Spencer Torkelson, move on down the list to Miggy. He's certainly a guy that's been able to get some at-bats. And then that starter in the leadoff position at, is it Badeau? There's a guy that gets it done as well. So there's a lot of power kind of hidden in this offensive lineup for Detroit that I think is still trying to make a name for themselves. And so, a lot of lefties out there as well. I always think that's a good positive advantage when it comes to a game where I think weather is going to dictate the circumstances or the conditions here. But the other kind of component that I looked at this thing is saying Thursday opening afternoon dog spot. Thursday opening afternoon dog spot, or evening dog, sorry, PM evening. 5-17 straight up in the run line. Cleveland falls into that model here as well. So Cleveland coming off a difficult series. Detroit Tigers, great price, I think, on this Tiger spot. I'm going to take those Detroit Tigers, and I'll take whatever number I can get on them right now.
Is this the pimp slap?
This is not. The pimp slap is coming. It is coming.
All right. Let's find the best number for Mike. While I'm doing that, let's hear what Jose Bouquett has to say about Tigers Guardians.
Yeah, I was riding with Taint. I like the first 5 under 4.5 here. Like I said, I hope this game goes. It's one of my 2 bets. I think obviously Scooble can get his shit together on the road. It's obviously been dice. But like you mentioned, this is the worst offense against lefties. And if he struggles here, maybe we should start paying attention to that more and start fading him on the road and betting him at home. But I'm hoping that the Guardians' shit offense comes through for us here. And I've liked Curry. He obviously mentioned that he got touched up against the Rays last time out, but the Rays are very good offensively. His start before that, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs against the White Sox. Tigers obviously are not an offensive juggernaut. Though I love my guy Miguel Cabrera. He's just a black hole, easy out in the lineup. I'm very glad he had a home run this year because he only has the 1 home run. But we still appreciate him and shower him with gifts because he's the greatest Venezuelan baseball player of all time. But a first 5 under 4.5 minus 110 for me.
First 5 under 4.5 minus 110 for Creamy Tits Bouquet. Justin calling you Zenyatta Bouquet. I forgot that was one of your nicknames as well.
By the way, Lucius Fox's birthday today.
Luce's birthday today?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure he said it was his birthday today. Maybe I don't want to make that shit up, Lucius, but I'm pretty sure it's his birthday. Happy birthday to Lucius Fox.
Wow. Can we get that confirmed here?
So
I don't have that anywhere. Let's get that confirmed. Sharpie says if Scooball struggles here, I can't say it's the road. He has struggled in the division throughout his career, yet pitched well versus Cleveland. And yes, it's Lucius Fox' 39th birthday. Love capping with Lucius Fox. Happy birthday, man. Respect. Lucius Fox birthday. Put that here. Have a great day, man. Have a great day.
Birthday.
1984. Respect, man.
86, a bad year.
Young Thundercat running around there. 1984 birthday.
Oh, respect. Happy birthday, Lucius Fox. Okay, we have the first 5 under 4.5 for Jose. The Tigers available at minus 132 at Pinnacle. And Matty Ice, Taint play of the day is in as well. And that's the first 5 under 4.5 alongside Jose Bouquet. Taint. All right.
It's a sweet Taint.
I don't want to get involved here with the question marks around weather and the offensive situation if the game goes and Scooball's strange, extreme splits. It all just does not really appeal to me. And I'm so confident in my Dodgers action, which doesn't necessarily mean a victory, but I'm very, very confident in it. And if that's the only action I have in football, I'll be okay with that. because I thought that Sale could end up in my card, and I wasn't sure what to do with this game because I just those splits are too extreme and probably don't make sense. Probably it's just a sample size issue. Let's move on because Mikey is involved in this one as well. New York Mets 55-66, 24-38 on the road at the St. Louis Cardinals 54-67, 27-34 at home. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri, and Philly Eagle Flyer just moved on Cleveland first 5 money line. Jose Quintana versus Adam Wainwright. So Wainwright's being atrocious last night. We talked about this last night, how bad he's been. He's being atrocious. And Nicholas Earl moved on the over. And he said, I know this is a very public bet, but how do you not just take the over? And, the Cardinals are hitting lefties hard, even though Quintana seems to have some sort of magical dust that he puts on batters, and they look terrible when he's up there. And if you use the eye test, you think he's so hittable. So I thought of Nicholas Earl this morning when I saw 10s on the board. Nobody wants to see that, especially when you're on a public spot.
That's a horrifying way to wake up, just thinking of Nicholas Earl.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Let's talk about this total though. This total opened up at 10.5 and it moved to 10. It moved to 10 at 11:15 this morning. It lasted there for 2 minutes before it went up to 10.5. And then it went right back to 10. So right now we have a real legit move towards the under, which has to be a surprise to people. A move to the under. Let's take a look at that weather right away here in Busch Stadium. We have 84 Fahrenheit, 12.3 miles per hour, left to right, very slightly out, and it dies out throughout the game. It ends up at 7.7 miles per hour. Let's take a look at Ballpark Pals' expectation of Busch Stadium. They do not think it's going to be offensive. Look at this, minus 10% home runs, minus 8% doubles and triples, minus 7% singles, and minus 12% runs. That's pretty wild situation here. Take a look at the money line here for this one. We have the Mets opening up at minus 119. They're now minus 130. This line came out yesterday at 5:47 p.m. The initial move was towards the St. Louis Cardinals and Adam Wainwright. And I know that's hard to believe that he could be being backed, but he has been backed. There's our guy, Jorge Don't Play in the house. What up, Jorge Don't Play? So Quintana versus Wainwright. We take a look at the cash, and you have 68% of the tickets and 72% of the cash on the New York Mets, and the line is now moving towards them. From the total standpoint, you have 66% of the tickets, 66% of the cash on the over, and the market's moving to the under. Joe Yurkovich says Wainwright's last quality start was versus the Mets on June 17th. DC Capper says New York Mets minus 140, first 5 money line going against Wainwright early. Nate Cerna says, what was the play in the Dodgers game? That's our last game that we will be capping here. So Quintana's been very good since returning. Has yet to allow a home run over 29 2/3 innings. He shut down the Braves. Now that was at Citi Field, but he shut down the Braves over 6 innings in his last start, allowed just 1 earned run. On the road, 3.38 ERA. He's been fine there in 18 2/3. Wainwright is coming off a horrific start. 1 inning, 9 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 jacks, and a 12-8 loss at the Royals. At home, he's got a 9.26 ERA, and the opponents are batting .389 against him. But the Mets are not hitting right now, and hitting .222 with a .717 OPS versus righty since July 15th. And the Cards are hitting .288, .834. The Mets bullpen's also a train wreck, 5.73 ERA. Robert Franklin on the Mets first 5 minus a half. Professor Chris says my numbers have this game basically a pick 'em. So he bet the Cardinals at plus 112. Here we go. Nut Flush Allen says Adam Wainwright's trying to reach his 200th win, and I believe they're going to keep sending him out all season until he gets it. Make money off this opportunity. All right, Mike M. I believe the pimp slap might be coming here. Is that the case?
It was on the fringe until you made a comment about the over. So I just don't have historically. My friend and I don't have strong success when we are looking at the same play. But I can't get mad at anybody for looking at the over. The Mets right now, and they're away, and it's the first game of a road series. 15-5 to the over. Yeah, I had that under yesterday. That was I thought it wasn't going to get there. It was the roller coaster, right? Yesterday was National Roller Coaster Day, so it makes sense. I was up and down with that game, and then it didn't get there at the end. So it's like the bar broke on the as we went through the loop, and I fell out of the roller coaster. So they screwed me real good. And I'm not going to let them do it again on a total perspective, although I do think it's an opportunity. So what I did do here is I did take the hip to be square play of the day. Crazy as it may sound, I'm riding with the Mets in this situation for a couple of reasons. One, the Mets have a strong travel situation when it comes to coming off of a win. Secondarily, St. Louis not so strong when it comes to the first game after they came off an under. Whether they scored the under or the game went under, they're in a 12-27 spot straight up. Historically, they're 3-18 in their last 21 when they're coming off the first game of a series when the previous series ended with an under. So for me, that equals a Mets spot. So it's a Mets spot as part of the hip to be square play of the day with those LA Dodgers that somebody had mentioned earlier. Secondarily, I'm going to go with the ribeye spot here as well. I'm going with Paul Goldschmidt. I'm going to ride the other side of the equation. I've learned that they don't necessarily need to correlate for me in a game that I do expect there to be some offense with the Jose Quintana out there. I think it's a good fit for a Paul Goldschmidt wackaroo here. And funny thing is, I texted a buddy of mine about 5 minutes before I jumped on the show. It was plus 162. It's down to plus 155 already. So it's in the last 10 minutes or so, it's catching some steam, and probably a play I would get on sooner than later. That way we kind of have both bases covered. My theory here is if I'm going to play the Mets, I want some type of a return on them. Certainly like to play them if they're in a dog spot, but what I've noticed this year is if they're in a dog spot, they get pounded like dog poop. And the second thing I noticed here is, if I can cut them and bundle them together with another strong favorite and catch a plus 2 for 1 on my money, couple that with the plus 155 now on the back end with this RBI, several units at risk here, or several units to win here with very few units at risk. So I'm all over it. Great spots for me. Hip to be square play of the day.
The hip to be square play of the day, the first leg is the Mets.
The New York Metropolitans.
And the second leg is coming up, I assume?
It sure is. Might as well rip them right through here.
Okay. Then we have the ribeye play today is Goldschmidt, RBI. And let's hear what Jose Bouquett has to say about this spot. Jose, we've seen this, quite often here. We have Wainwright, who looks so vulnerable, and the over is public, and yet it drops a half run. How do you think it's going to play out, and are you moving on this?
Yeah, I want to bet an under. I really do. Again, I remember the same thing at the butt stuff and the roll again with Severino on the bump against the Braves. Oh, we have to bet the over, et cetera, et cetera. 5-0 Braves win under easy. It kind of feels like this as well. I don't know what Wainwright's going to do here. Gives up 5 runs. Sure, I could see that. I think Quintana has been pitching really well, shockingly enough. And I've been low-key trying to get into player props a little more. I've been looking at player props more and more. Yeah, I guess Mike's ribeyes have inspired me because I like the RBI plays. It's nice motivation, etc. And I looked at Paul Goldschmidt, and I have it at plus 125. So shout out to my garbage books compared to you, Mike. You got it at plus 150, you said?
Plus 155.
Yeah, so I would much rather obviously have Mike's books there. But I'm just kind of looking at the best hitters against lefties, and I don't really see Goldschmidt. And I know he's got that historic, numbers against my guy, but it's interesting. He's not in the top in weighted runs created plus against lefties, I guess. So I might not bet it. I have it written down at Paul Goldschmidt RBI, but I think I am going to move on the under in this game.
Jose, let me add a little color commentary around the Goldschmidt numbers, right? So 17 at-bats, 11 hits, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs for a 647 batting average. 778 OBA. There you go.
Yeah, he fucking crushes him.
He's a
And
killer against Quintana.
that's why I would like to bet his RBI there. But I think I'm just going to take an under, the under 10.5 here. I've got it at, let me refresh here, because some books like Bovada has the 10.5 but minus 120, and Bet Online has 10 at even money. Jimmy, what are you saying?
Let me move over here. I feel like if you like the under, and I know this is a hard thing to process really because Wainwright's been so bad. I mean that first 5 sitting at 6. I mean, are they going to put up 7 runs in the first 5? Because look how bad this Mets bullpen's been. 5.73 ERA since July 15th. Cards 4.8 has been a little better. But I mean, 7 or 11 to lose. Take your pick. Let's just take a look at the totals here. I'm very interested in the under, and if I was having a better season, I would move on it. I would move on it right now. But yeah, Bet Chris and Bookmaker with the minus 120, and then Pinnacle under 10.5 at minus 114.
All right, sounds good. That is a high first 5 number, and it does make me interested in doubling up. I will admit,
it's a very hard thing to double up.
With the way these bullpens play, it feels like these games go on forever when it comes to that bottom part of the game. So I think you guys are onto something with that first 5 under here. I think you're rolling the dice that both these guys are going to come out and deal. But even if one side gets shut down and the other side still puts some runs up, you're still in play. And this game could very well go on for 7 hours. So at least that's been my experience when I'm watching. At least that's what it feels like when I watch both the Cardinals and the Mets play.
Mally Mal saying Gorman and Newbar won't be in the lineup tonight. Sweaty Butcher, you were a monster last night. By the way, Jeff Slaughter giving anybody who knocked him out $50, not just the first person to knock him out because it's a rebuy. So you have an extra $50 coming your way. So let's touch base with our guy Jeff Slaughter, or do it through Jose or I, and we'll get you hooked up. Great job last night.
Yeah,
great job. So Sweaty Butcher came 3rd. Is that right?
No, I think a newbie came in 3rd and Butcher came in 4th.
Damn, so he didn't get that ticket. Damn, okay.
By the way,
what an opportunity! $25 to get in. You get a shot at over a $400 pot. You get $100 free plays. You get $100 survivor entries. You get $50 bounties. Who knocked you boys out? Who took the $25 bounties on you guys?
K Wolf took mine. Who took yours, Jose?
Boss Up Chopper.
Yeah, Boss Up Chopper.
Right. But I just like I did with Dabby Cab in a game of horse, I gently rested my sack on the bridge of Hunter Englehart's nose there for a solid 5 minutes. While I was talking through it the whole time. I told him about the last hand, how I bluffed him the whole time, and then I talked about that while I had a nice card and continued to bet him and win that hand too. So that was great. But Hunter ended up going really far in the tournament too. He did have the last laugh there.
Leonard says, I think Nutflush mentioned a while ago to fade Wainwright until he retires. Dabby Kev says, stop. It's baseball. Anything can happen on any day, but betting under with Wainwright is not a good long-term investment.
It's not, but it is today. I'm going to double up, by the way. First 5 under 6 minus 120.
Well, you can get minus 115 at Bet 365, and I bet you can get better than that at other books. So let's just... I have this sickness that makes me want to ride with you on this. Minus 112 here at Pinnacle, under 6 at minus 112. God, the problem is I'm so confident. Nice, Luce is going to be the next one. I'm so confident in the Dodgers action here. I'm not usually this confident in anything in baseball, but I'm really confident in that. And do I really want to add this under 6? Because Wainwright gets the cortisone shot. I've been staring at this game all day just because I knew how public this over was going to be, and I was like, God, I'd love the market to show me a sign that maybe we should fade the public here, and they've done just that. They've shown us the sign, but it just feels like, are we being too cute? Does this really correlate fully? And then the answer is no, because how can we trust Wainwright? But 4 starts ago on the road, he allowed 2 earned runs over 5 innings against Arizona. Then the next start, he allowed 4 earned runs over 6 innings against the Cubs. In his last 2 starts, he's allowed 15 earned runs in 4 innings. As much as I like it, I just don't think I can do it. But I'm going to cheer you on. And if my bankroll was stronger, coming in the NFL, I'd join you. I would just straight up join you and respect the big balls call on the under 6. But I'm just not at a point where I feel like I should do that. I really need to start winning. I need to tighten my shit up. But I respect it. All right, let's move on. At this point, though, we have the ribeye play today. It is Goldschmidt at plus 155 from Mikey. We have the first leg of the hip to be square play of the day. Johnny Gunn says if there's a start for Wainwright to get back on track, it's against this poor hitting Mets team. I mean, if he can allow 4 runs in 4 innings, we'd probably be live. But that's just not enough. There's Troy Torrance in the house. What up, Troy? And we have Londo on the St. Louis Cardinals money line. That's his play of the day. All right, let's move on to 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Did anyone want to add anything to that spot?
I was just going to say we're talking about it being a poor hitting Mets team, and that's clearly what we've seen kind of across the season. But this last series, let's take a step back. The series before where they played the Braves. They finished off with a win. They got 7 runs. They followed that back up against the Pirates with 7 runs. They played the Pirates again. They only got 4 runs, but they covered their team total over, and then they got 8 runs this past game. So, we might need to readjust and evaluate the thought around the sleeping bats right now because they're coming through a lull in the schedule in terms of teams they're playing. You got a guy like Wainwright, maybe the team total over is a way to look for the Mets today as well. But that's just my last thoughts there.
Yeah, I mean, a Mets team total over makes sense. I'm going to stay off of it. It's one of those games. Like if I did take the under 6 and, Wainwright gets tagged for 3 runs in the first inning, I have to go for a walk. I have to leave the family. I have to go outside. I have to shake it off so that I'm not just a complete dick to everybody. And I don't know if I can handle that. I barely slept for the last 3 days. Whenever I'm barely sleeping, I'm more emotional and I just don't want to ruin my family's night. Let's move to 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Diamondbacks at the San Diego Padres. Diamondbacks 61-60, 31-29 on the road. Padres 58-63, 32-29 at home at Petco Park in San Diego, California. We saw the Padres take 2 of 3 against a good Orioles team. It's hard to believe they're this deep under 500. It's just wild. This heartless pack of losers. Gallen versus Rich Hill. This is another spot, just like Wainwright. Rich Hill's just been getting lit up and smoked. And you have Zach Gallen, sort of like the Treek Screwball situation, but with a much bigger sample size of just pitching poorly on the road. He's been so great this year, 3.24 ERA, 1.07 whip. And he's coming off shutting out the Padres at home over 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. But on the road, he's got a 4.72 ERA, 255 opponent's batting average. We watched him go into Pittsburgh and just get destroyed. So it's a tricky situation, this one as well. Let's take a look at the full game. Let's take a look at the weather, I guess, first in Petco. We have 70 Fahrenheit. It's hot. It's very, very hot on the West Coast right now. 8.6 miles per hour in, down to 7.2. Weather sucks here. Just awful for the next. The summer's going to be over, and we just didn't get any nice weather at all here. Let's take a look at the ballpark pal. We have Petco Park plus 6% homers, minus 5% doubles and triples, minus 7% runs. Going to the line history, this opened up at 8.5. And it's dropped to 8 and bounced back up to 8.5 a few times over the last 4 hours at Pinnacle. So right now, there's only been 2 cents of movement to the under, but we've seen it at 8. From a money line perspective, we have the Padres sitting here at minus 103. They opened up at plus 115 at some books. They opened up at plus 107 at Pinnacle. So we've had a 10-cent move to the San Diego Padres. Go over to the cash flow for this one. We have 53% of the tickets and 92% of the cash on the under. So then why does it bounce back up to 8.5 every time it drops to 8? People are obviously hammering the over when that happens. And then from a money line standpoint, you have 55% of the tickets and 65% of the cash on the San Diego Padres. So 55% of the betting public is picking Rich Hill over Zach Gallen in this start. Dabby Cab says he kind of wants to bet the Diamondbacks team total over. Ron Crawford with KBO look for us right there.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Ron Crawford, my friend. So Zach Gallen, 12-5, 3.24 ERA, 1.07 whip, as we discussed, going up against Rich Hill, who's a 5.17 ERA, 1.51 whip. Rich Hill's last opportunity, he lasted 3 1/3. These pitchers went up against each other. It was the 3-0 loss at the Diamondbacks. The Padres bullpen completely shut down the Diamondbacks, as soon as they got control of the game. And the Diamondbacks are not hitting lefties. 241, 695 OPS. Padres are righties, 238, 726. This Diamondbacks bullpen is atrocious. 6.61 ERA. Padres 4.4. That's all since July 15th. Here we go. We'll start with you, Jose Bouquett. Diamondbacks, Padres. What's your move?
I think I'm going to be on the pack of losers. Gutless wimps. I think I'm going to be on them. And big old Dick Mountain. It's opened up at minus 115 last night on Bet Online for the Diamondbacks. Has shifted all the way to the Padres here. Road Gallen is obviously a thing. This is his 4th time facing the Padres this year. The 2 of those good times obviously were at home, and including that last one we just mentioned. But I like that back-to-backs look for the Padres offense. At the Padres earlier this year, 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 2 home runs, 3 Ks, 1 walk. I think we get good gutful. I don't know what the opposite of gutless is. Padres here today. Maybe Fernando Tatis just walking home against a fucking clueless reliever gets them going. Who knows? But I'm on I think I'm going to be on the Padres today. Minus 105 full game money line.
Wow, that's wild. Padres money line backing Rich Hill, as 55% of tickets have come in that to trust 43-year-old Rich Hill. Mikey, take it away. Gallen, Hill, Diamondbacks, Padres.
Yeah, I mean, Dick Mountain's in the same age bracket as we are, Jimmy. And I don't know about you, but I woke up this morning with a stiff back. My neck hurt. I started thinking about my pillow and am I using the right pillow? There's a lot of things on the mind of Dick Mountain here, not just throwing baseballs. And I'm sure he's happy to be getting whatever kind of dollars and cents he is. I got to ride a hot trend here. This is going to be the pimp slap play of the day, and it's going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks. A couple thoughts when I looked at this number. First and foremost, when the Arizona Diamondbacks start a series off as a favorite, less than minus 150, they're 23-0. Now, I know the line's moved. But 23-0 is something to be reckoned with. And I don't know if it's just the public jumping in on the Padres and seeing Gallen on the road. I don't know if that's factoring why the line is moving. But the bookie set that number with the Diamondbacks as a favorite. And I've got to respect it. So I know we're seeing it potentially flip-flop and might move the other direction. I'm going to go again if it goes in the other direction. If it moves to a situation where I get plus money on that Arizona Diamondbacks side of the house, then I'm going to go there again. So pimp slap play of the day, me with this one here. It is the pimp slap play of the day at minus 101 is the number that I see right now at WinBet. So I'll take that. I'll take that shot at it. Jose, I don't want to go head-to-head with you, but look, I'm not backing Dick bag, Dick anything. So you go ahead, play with that Dick.
Dick bag? I don't know. Well, that got in there. Bag snuck in there somehow.
I didn't mean it like that.
Jose, just because you lose doesn't mean you're going to be playing with dicks here. But how do you feel going up against Mike M?
I intend on playing with dicks today.
Oh God,
it's in my itinerary. So I'll take the Padres full game money line, and we'll rock and roll here. So it'll be fun to watch that game now. I obviously, I mean, the Padres have been gutless the whole year, but here we go. Johnny Guns, my favorite comment of the day. Huge series for the Padres. They're 3 games back from the Diamondbacks, or 1.5 games back from a wild card spot. Teece stealing home last night may have sparked them to sweep the D-backs here. Can they give a fuck? Maybe. maybe they actually start to give a fuck a little bit here. So I'm gonna ride with the Padres here, and obviously line movement is not the end all be all. Fucking, I cashed my Astros bet, which is still a horrible bet. I mean, it was minus 128. It closed at like minus 110. I somehow cashed it, but yeah, I believe in the Dick Mountain here today.
Huh? Yeah, I've been sitting here on the sidelines. It's because I've got a lot invested in football and then in the next game. So I'm going to continue just to sit on the sidelines here. I really, really like the next spot. And we have the pimp slap play of the day in from Mike M on the Diamondbacks. And Jose, you can get the Padres minus 103 at Pinnacle. At Pinnacle, the Padres are now minus 103. Here we go. We're going to move on to the final MLB spot on the board. Teece will be up next. Let's go to work here. Now, to get started with Brewers, Dodgers, we must talk about some of our cappers and what they've done on this bet. First off, spreadsheet play of the day is in, and it's on the LA Dodgers minus 1 at plus 101. And shout out to our Ron Crawford. Have BJ's best bet, and that's the Dodgers money line at minus 145, and he's putting 5 units on that. This is a big boy bet for our guy BJ here. Billy Friedrich says Dodgers have been flexing on the Brewers all season long. There are levels to this. And from Sharpie, he says Lance Lynn, and we talked a lot about this last night, says since being a Dodger, scrapped his two-seamer and cutter, and gone mostly 4-seam and scrapped his slider to more curveballs. The analytics of the Dodgers doing wonders again. Tabby Cab says first 5 over sounds pretty good here. I knew that I was going to beat this line move on the under, and I moved on it. And Lance Lynn has problems against lefties. We watch teams load up lefties against him and get to him. You only have Christian Yelich. Now, Carlos Santana is a switch, so he can hurt you. But Sal Frelick, Bryce Terang, this is not a lineup that I think that he will have difficulty with. And then when we take Corbin Burns' body of work here, Corbin Burns is a pitcher who I believe is elite, and he's coming off of a bad start. So let's just take a look at what he's done this year. Sorry, I'm going to put this over here. After bad starts, because he's had very few. He had a bad start at home versus Arizona, and he didn't follow it up with a good start against Cleveland. Since then, he went on a run. In his last 6 starts, he's never gone less than 6 innings. So we're sitting at 39 innings, and he's allowed 8 earned runs in 39 innings. 8 earned runs, 2 homers in 39 innings. He got lit up against the Houston Astros, and he bounced back with a great start against the San Francisco Giants earlier in the year. He had a bad start, if we go even earlier, against the San Francisco Giants, and he bounced back with a shutout over 6 innings. He did the same thing when he had a bad start against the New York Mets. He bounced back at Arizona with 8 innings of shutout ball. He bounces back from these spots. He bounces back from a bad performance, and I like backing him after he has a bad performance. So I believe in Corbin Burns very much today. And Lance Lynn has had 3 starts with the Dodgers. We already heard from Sharpie. 3 starts with the Dodgers, 18 innings. He's got a 2 ERA, a 0.94 whip, 22 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Billy Friedrich saying Burns is from Bakersfield. I really like the first 5 under 4.5. That's not available anymore. I'm very happy about that. I also have the first 3 under 2.5, and I got that at minus 125, which I found decent. There are even books that have moved this to 3.5. now. They're dice game books, so we don't need to worry about them. But there are some books out there that moved it to 3.5. A Bet Online's even showing a 3.5. Now it's a messed up 3.5 here, with minus 150 to the over, plus 130 to the under on the first 5. But Pinnacle is sitting here with the over 4 at minus 119. You can get it at minus 119. Now this moved to 4 at 10:40 p.m. last night, and then got back up to 4.5 at 10:25 this morning. Dropped to 4 and back up to 4.5, and now it's back at 4 again. So, they haven't been nervous about putting it back to 4.5, which I don't like. I don't like at all. So here we go. Let's take a look at the weather here. You guys know my action. These are the only 2 bets I have on the MLB card. 72 Fahrenheit, 8.3 miles per hour out to right field. Dies down to 5.7. It's very offensive weather in a pitcher's ballpark. We'll go to Ballpark Pal here. They have plus 10% home runs, but that's it. Even for doubles and triples, minus 5% singles, and just plus 1% runs. We've already talked about the line history on the total, and we are focusing on the first 5. Let's go into the full game money line here for this one. We have the Dodgers sitting at minus 139. So there's been 8 cents of movement towards the LA Dodgers. They did get up to minus 143. They're sitting now at minus 139. So we have a move to the under, and we have a move to the LA Dodgers. Let's take a look at the cash flow then on this one and see where it leaves us. We have 25% of the tickets and 51% of the cash on the Milwaukee Brewers. I thought about backing them here, but I don't know how you can really go up against the Dodgers with the way they're playing right now. The Burns opened up at Bet365 yesterday at plus 120. I was very curious to see where you would end up. And legitimately, I thought plus 115 was a possibility. It's gone the other way. They're now plus 135, the Brewers. So 15 cents move at Bet365. From a total perspective, it's 50-50. 49% of the tickets, 67% of cash is on the under. The market's moving to the under. I feel good about this. Morgan Spooner says, I like this over a lot. Says, 4-seam or not, he has shit control this year. He has walked 4 batters in 18 innings as a LA Dodger. But it's fair, absolutely fair what you're saying. He has 49 walks and 137 2/3, Morgan. He says he doesn't look like the Bulldog anymore, and the Dodgers offense can definitely score against Burns and or the Pen. And Billy Friedrich looking at the under 56.5 for the Grand Salami. That's interesting. So there you go. I'm on Corbin Burns. I love backing him after a bad start. Absolutely fucking love it. I think that this is a perfect lineup for Lance Lynn to beat up. The Brewers are hitting 231, 666 OPS first righty since July 15th. Dodgers are smashing them 281, 818. And both bullpens have been very good, but it is the end of the series. And, we've seen parts of the bullpens, but both bullpens have been very good. There's nothing wrong with the full game under. That is my action. Let's go to you, Mikey. Brewers, Dodgers, is this the second half of the hip to be square?
It is. And, you brought up some really good stats there. And, I think before I gave you one where you were like, is there anything that supports my spot? And you ended up winning. And today I was thinking about the same thing and thinking, Lance Lynn, when he's starting, we've seen what he's done recently. When he starts off a win, he certainly doesn't get it done either. He's 3-11 after the Dodgers have just picked up a win. Well, I should say his team has picked up a win because he was predominantly off of the White Sox. But I don't think it's a Lance Lynn first 5 spot. I do think there's going to be, to that point, an under here in that first 5. You're talking about those numbers flip-flopping really between 3.5 and 4.5. And it seems historically when I see that, that I got to go to the underside. The obvious feel to me is, there's going to be runs being scored all over the place here. We saw runs get scored yesterday in that first 5. But then what we saw is the bullpen kind of leveled things out, and that full game under was able to come through and cash with the 7-1 victory. I kind of think we see the same game script today. So I went with the full game. Look, the Dodgers are just too hot right now to back off with this number. Even if you played it straight up with the juice, the -1, can't fault anybody for that. They're just red hot. And you know what? They do this every year in August. I forgot the number, but I got to say, it felt like it was 100-5 when they play games in August. So this is when they gel together. And I've been saying this back since April that, let's not get on them early. They didn't make many moves in the offseason. They kept their roster together. They took some injuries early. They rested a bunch of players because they're not messing around. They know they got to go deep. And if they want to go deep, they got to make their run, and they've already put the foot on the gas pedal. So I like the Dodgers in every facet. except the first 5. I do think we see a low-scoring game. So for me, the way I'm going to attack this is it's the second leg of the hip to be square parlay. I think it's just great value, and it kind of gives me that 2-for-1 money with the Mets. I'm going to take that first 5 under. I'm with you in terms of how does Lance Lynn start? I don't know. I'm hoping he gets through there. But at the very least, if it's a tie game or a low-scoring spot, I can cash on that. And then I'm going to look for a live opportunity because as much as Lance Lynn struggles to get off the gate when he gets going, what is happening is the Dodgers are finding a way to come back and win these series. And they're winning by an average margin of 2.72 runs a game by one of the trends that I ran. So with that being said, I'm hoping that it's tight or they're even down 1 or 2 runs to start this first 5 off. And then I'm going to get in there and I'm going to start live betting the LA Dodgers as well. But official for me is that LA Dodgers second leg of the hip to be square play.
Dodgers are the second leg of the hip to be square with the Mets. So Mets, Dodgers, and what does that pay out?
It's plus 200.
Plus
Nice
200.
Firm plus 200.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Let's hear what Jose Bouquett has to say about this spot. Mets, Dodgers, Brewers, take it away.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. I like the Dodgers today. I expect them to win. I think Lance Lynn pitches well. One of my favorite things to do is when a pitcher gets traded, check out what their pitch mix is the first start of after when they get back. We talked about it with Lance Lynn. Sharpie mentioned it as well. Scrapping all of his other fastballs and the Dodgers telling him just to throw one fastball, one four-seam made it very interesting and makes it more effective, it seems. Limits the walks, it seems, as well, because maybe those were the hints of his control issues because all those fastballs move in different directions. How about you just throw one that goes straight, Lance? So I like the Dodgers here, and I'll jump on the first 5 under with you. I know we're getting the shitty lines, but first 5 under 4 minus 105 for me. Dodgers -1 even money for me as well.
First 5 under 4 minus 105, and the Dodgers -1 at plus 100.
Yes, and Lance Lynn, it's hard to get up and get excited to go to work when you're working for the White Sox. So I think the change of scenery is very beneficial for Lance as well, obviously. So I think Bulldog Lance Lynn is back.
I got the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 115 last night, and the first 3 under 2.5 at minus 125. Looking back, that minus 125, is expensive. Be curious to see what it is right now. So right now, the first 5 under 4 is plus 100 at bet 365. So let's at least give you that plus 100 on both of your spots, Jose, plus 100. And then the first 3 here is only moved 5 cents to minus 130. I hope it moves more than that. Morgan Spooner says, to be clear, he's faced the Oakland A's and the Rockies on the road and a cold as ice Padres offense. I mean, isn't that perfectly in line with this Brewers team?
Yeah,
Morgan,
the Brewers are right there with them.
Yeah, so that's the thing there. I mean, it's not like we're talking about some team with a ton more offense. I mean, this is that they're right in that mix. In fact, if you look at the numbers since July 15th, I imagine the A's and the Rockies and the Padres have all hit righties harder than the Brewers, who are hitting 231, 666 against righties. So I like it. I'm comfortable here. And all of you on the Dodgers, I will cheer for you because we got BJ, big bet on the Dodgers. We got the spreadsheet play today for the Dodgers -1 at plus 101. Jose's moved on the Dodgers -1 at plus 100. And the first 5 under 4 at plus 100. I got the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 115 and the first 3 under 2.5 at minus 125. And then we have the hip to be square play of the day. JPZ says, following Kershaw, great comeback performance, Lynn is going to be locked in. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a perfect lineup for him. Now, it's getting he's got to get through Yelich and Santana. So I mean that'll be really telling there. If he can get through that first time seeing Yelich and Santana, I mean he's just going to mow through the bottom end of absolutely mow through the bottom end of that lineup. So there you have it. That is our MLB breakdown. Let's review all action here. And we do have Luchase Fox celebrating his birthday. Maybe it's time for a friends and family. We have Teece ready to rock here for WNBA. So if we were going to put together Luchase Fox, if we were going to put together a friends and family parlay for him, I'd like to hear your best bets from you guys. But before we do that, let's review all MLB action. Stacks play today from Justin McElvee's. The Royals team total over 3.5. We stayed off of Boston Red Sox, Washington Nationals. Mike got his card started with the Tigers money line. Jose's on the first 5 under 4.5 in Tigers Guardians. And the taint play today is the Tigers Guardians first 5 under 4.5. Thank you, Chase White, my man. Then Jose's on the under 10.5 full game and under 6 first 5 in Mets Cardinals. And I love the big balls of it all. I feel a little vulnerable with my bankroll before NFL, where we're going to be firing a ton. And I just can't add it, even though I kind of like that first 5 under 6. The hip to be square play of the day opens with the New York Mets. Alondo is on the St. Louis Cardinals money line. Then the pimp slap play today is the Arizona Diamondbacks minus 101. And pimp slap is going right up against Jose, who is on the Padres minus 103. There's our guy Equanimus in the house. Sean Pulliam says his birthday was on the 15th. Can I get a pick? Absolutely. Absolutely. You're going to hear, and you can pick whichever one you like the best, Sean. We're going to give, each of us are going to give our best bet, and then our guy Teece will add to it here. So we'll have a friends and family parlay. Jose's on the first 5 under 4 plus 100 in Brewers Dodgers. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 minus 115. I bet that last night. Dodgers minus 1 at plus 100 for Jose. That is right alongside Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play today. BJ's best bet, and also the second half of Mikey's hip to be square parlay. So best bet time. We'll let Jose get us started, then Mikey, then myself. Jose, friends and family parlay, what's your best bet today?
It would be Detroit, Cleveland, first 5 under if I didn't think it might get rained out. So let's get disgusting. Let's take that full game under, 10.5 in Mets to Cardinals. Let's all ride with our guy Adam Wainwright. We all ride with the old man.
Under 10.5, St. Louis, New York Mets. There. Mikey M., your friends and family parlay piece.
Boy, I did one of these on a live stream the other day, and I think I was like the only losing component to it. So I'm going to feel like total, you know what, if it happens again. But I'm gonna pivot out of Major League Baseball if I can. Sure. Is that allowed, or you want me to stick to Major League Baseball?
No, anything you want.
Yeah, I'm going to go over to preseason football. And you guys heard my DGen play of the day was the first half under 19.5. But the more I sit on this, the more I look at the opportunity. I'm going to go with the Browns +4 as the my favorite spot, really across the card. You know, I shared that number with Nick Sirianni in his preseason debut. How about the other side of things? Stefanski's 3-0-1 in his last 4 preseason starts there. So it matters to Browns. It doesn't matter to the Eagles. The roster's setting in place. And the Browns are fighting for quarterback. But there's a lot that they're fighting for in Cleveland right now. And I think that's going to translate to impactful second half of the game. And the Browns find a way to cover the +4.
I like it. I like it. If that game was still at 37.5, I would give out the full game under. But I told you guys, I bet that at like 10:30 this morning at 37.5, and it's now at 35.5, 35 at some books, which is absolutely nuts. So I'm not going to give it out at 35.5. I thought that hook was extremely important. 2017 is such a viable final score that I can't give it out at the number. So then we have the Dodgers game, first 5 down to 4. So you can get the 4.5s at alternate lines. I want the 4.5 for mine because this is a leg of a parlay. Right now, that 4.5 is, somewhat pricey. Let's just see what it is at Pinnacle and also see what it is over at Bet365, just to get an idea. At Pinnacle, let's move over here. The first 5 under 4.5 is -127. That's a fine price. Let's see what it is here at Bet365. The first 5 under 4.5. 5 under 4.5 is minus 135. Those are fine prices. So my leg of the friends and family parlay for our guy Aluches Fox and Sharon Pulliam, who had his birthday on Tuesday. I hope you had a great birthday, Sharon. Respect, my man. Is the LA Dodgers Milwaukee Brewers first 5 under 4.5. About a minus 127 or something like that. So Jose's got St. Louis, New York Mets under 10.5. Mike M's got the Browns +4. I have the Dodgers, Milwaukee first 5 under 4.5. There's Mark Schillingberg in the house and Justin McElvey, Tony Trill, Ronnie and Bergia agreeing with your look on the Browns plus the points. Mikey, love capping with you. Can't wait to rock again with you soon. We will have next Monday for our live bet stream, which I love watching you work. And you have a big announcement coming here on our channel here this month that I am very excited to help promote and be a part of. So please follow our guy Mike on Twitter at PimpSlapPlay of the day. Mikey, it's funny. It's amazing that you weren't with us last football season. It feels like you've been with us for years. I know you've been part of the chat for years, but it just feels like you've been on camera with us for years. We all love capping with you, my man. Thank you for being here this morning. And have yourself a great, great day, my friend. Any last words for the chat?
Shout out to all you guys, man. I'm always appreciative of the opportunity and honored and humbled to get on the big screen with you guys and share some thoughts. So hopefully we can get over this middling 4-4 pack that I've been sitting on with you guys for the last couple of appearances here today and start putting some of that plus money in our pockets. But, it's the battle and the war. And today I feel like it's both, especially with going head-to-head with my guy, Jose. So let's have fun, though. It's all about having fun, and we'll keep it going. I'm looking forward to the Monday night stream. Always a great time. And shout out to all you guys, Pub Sports Radio, Jimmy, of course, Jose, the whole crew in the chat, the whole up and down. I know you'll do a good job shouting them all out. So appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, respect. There he is, our guy, Mikey M. All right, we move on to the WNBA. And we had our guy Teece on Tuesday, and he told us on Tuesday that whoever wins in the Commissioner's Cup Championship, he's going to be fading on Thursday. And now we are here on this very Thursday, and that opportunity has arisen. Please welcome to the show from Philadelphia, we have our friend Parlay Teece. Teece, how are you, my friend?
Trying to get warm, man. Trying to get warm. After Tuesday, man, I lost every bet. Oh, it was terrible. Every bet I put on that game.
What do you think about the fallout of Liberty smashing the Aces now in back-to-back games? Why don't we start there? Is it possible that we could see a new favorite down the stretch?
From a future standpoint, I'm jumping up and down. Just because of the fact before the season when I saw the Liberty talking about signing Jonquel Jones, I grabbed him on a future at plus 925 or 975, something I can't remember. Plus 900 something. And then they ended up signing Stewie, Courtney Vandersloot, and I just went, and then all of a sudden they were down to like 120. So like in a matter of a blink. So I'm like happy as hell about that. And back earlier in the season, I think it was like maybe like a month into the season, there was a game in Atlanta, and I'd said on my show that this is the game right here. We see what kind of Aces team we're going to see for the rest of the season. They've had enough time to come together to get the chemistry built, and they ended up stomping on Atlanta. And since then, they really haven't turned back. And on this game on Tuesday, after seeing what I saw August 6th and watching that game Tuesday, my mind's just blown that Becky Hammond just did not have an answer for this Liberty squad. I mean, it's really got me. I'm speechless. I'm at a loss of words, to be honest with you. Just the way that game unfolded and the way that the Liberty just straight dominated. Jonquel Jones is just. I think in that game right there, I think she may have just taken the MVP right out of Asia Wilson's pocket and just pickpocketed her right in the middle of the game. Thank you. That's going to be mine this year. So this is a tough spot just because they played on Tuesday. So, because I mean, if I'm looking at this and it's just the last two games, you can't see the Aces competing with this, but the way I'm kind of like gauging this Aces team, I can't gauge it just on those two games because the Aces have kind of been like in a funk the last few games. They've been covering spreads, but against very lower tiered teams. And I think if anybody follows the WNBA, on Sunday, I believe it was, they played the Atlanta Dream and they got the cover and won by 21 points. But Atlanta was with them the whole game. In the game, they weren't scoring buckets. The balls just aren't falling in for the Aces. But I'm not going any other way but to take the Aces over in this game, in this game here. The only reason that game didn't go over in the first on Tuesday, I think that my picks didn't go over was that first quarter was terrible. Nobody could make a basket on either team. So that game just blew my mind. It was a really good game, and it was just wild. So I mean, I kind of throw all the stats out of the window when I was looking at this game last night. I wanted to go where I wanted to go with this, and I'm still going to go with what I was thinking. I don't know if I'm going to jump on a side though, but I couldn't look any other place. But the Aces, man, I really can't. I'm not jumping on a side. I want to jump on the total because I think we get a lot more points today. I think the buckets are open, especially after the hard fought game on Tuesday. I think the weights are off a little bit for this game. So, do you have numbers on this game? I'd love to hear the numbers.
Let's go over them here. We've had a move towards the Aces. They open up at -6. They've gone up to -7 and then dropped down to 6, and now they're back up at -7. So we have a 1-point move towards the Aces. These are going to be Bet Online's openers. And again, join our poker tournament next Wednesday. It was extremely enjoyable last night. Jose hosts the live stream. It's so much fun, man. It was just knowing everybody at the table and then going from table to table to table. It's just so cool. It's just it's really, really fun. This total opened up at 176.5 at Bet Online, and it's moved to the under. The first move to the under bounced all the way back to up to 176, but now we've had another move to the under. We're dropped down to 174. So a 2.5-point move towards the under. Torrey Coker is on the Aces -6, and Justin McAfee on the Aces team total over 90.5. It's Billy Friedrich says no way you can lay 7 with the Aces. We already heard from Luchase Fox that he is on the under 176. Londo also on the under 176.5. The main issue here is we didn't just watch the Liberty beat the Aces. We watched them absolutely destroy the Aces. So they beat them by 38 and 19. I think that's right. 38 and 19 last two games. So this team in the Aces who still have 0 losses beside their home record, even though we know what just happened on Tuesday, it didn't count in the stats here. These Aces got to be shook. So, but look at everybody in the chat. There's not one person in the chat here that says Liberty do it again. Oh wait, I take that back. There is. There was Billy Friedrich, Liberty +7 and money line. They will root the Aces again. So there we have Billy feeling that. So take it away. How are you going to get paid? Is it a full game over? Is it the first half over? Or is it of Aces team total over? Because that's what Justin McAfee just moved on.
I took the Aces last night, and I took them on the full game at the 6 that was on the board last night. You said it's at 7 now, so I guess I'm not alone. but it wasn't an easy. It wasn't easy for me just to hit that button. I was sitting there like pulling my arm back and putting it just because of what I've seen. But my thoughts behind the game are, this Liberty team just each got paid $30,000. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, they're feeling themselves now. I mean, you can see it on the sidelines and everything else. Like they kind of felt like they won the championship. Is what it was looking like to me. So, but G Martinez there makes a great point, man. No Candace Parker in there, but in all honesty, they shouldn't need Candace Parker. That's the crazy thing. Candace isn't what she used to be this year. But then again, she's been playing injured this whole season. So, that's what that is. But yeah, I have to think it's a faster paced game. And in a faster paced game, I'd have to go with the Aces on it, just because the Aces are that team that, all season I could be like 20 points away from covering the first half spread, first half total. And with 3 minutes left in the second quarter, 20 points, and I'm like, this is not going to cover, and then bam, it covers. So I have to think there's going to be points in this game. I don't know why. I mean, no baskets they didn't have any baskets at all for the first 4 minutes, or close to 4 minutes in that game. It was 0-0. Like everything that was shot was like somebody was standing there with their hand in the rim. It was crazy, and the shots weren't falling for the Aces at all. The threes, Kelsey Plum didn't have a good game. Even little bunny layups, man, weren't even going in. So I have to think that they widen the rims tonight, and we see a lot of points. And if the Aces can get rolling and grooving, that's where it's going to go, man. The Aces are going to cover, and it's going to go over. I don't like playing the full games, but I'm going to, Jimmy. Jimmy, this is probably the first time ever, probably the first time and the last time you're ever going to hear me give a full game total and full game spread out without giving anything in the first half. So I'm going to take it. I'm taking it. I took the Aces, and I'm going to take that over 176.
Well, down to 174.
All right, give it to me. Even better.
All right, so Teece is on the Aces. We can still get you 6.5s, but we can also get you the over 174 at Bet Online. So we'll do that. We'll give you over 174, and we can get you the Aces at -6.5, -108 at Heritage. -6.5 is the best we can get you. Aces -6.5, -108, and then the over 174 at -110.
Let me explain something. I don't usually take these totals, especially overs, for the full game, because a lot of times they'll cruise over in the first half, and then the games just slow down. Like it's just wild in the WNBA. It's not unheard of to see a team score 13 points in a quarter, and or in the Storm's case 6. So that's a little worrisome for me. I wouldn't go betting your house on that over 176. I don't get me wrong. I'm putting my money on the first half over as well, but there's more going on in the first. There's actually more going on the Aces, because I put a healthy bet on the Aces last night, but I like that first half total. So let's just do both. Let's do both of them, just because I don't think the Aces let off the gas, man. I think tonight they have to open it up. They have to. They can't sit back and have that sour taste in their mouth for the rest of the season with the Liberty.
Well, let's see what we can give you here for the first half over as well. So, wow, by the way, Pinnacle's now moved it to 173.5. So over 173.5 for the full game. This total is dropping by the second. 173.5, and the first half is at 88.5.
Hey, Tory Coker, you know what I do when that line moves against me, right?
You double down.
I always do.
I love it. I love it. Londo thinks it's a lower scoring game. Tori Coker, he who's a killer in WNBA, he says that the Aces win by double digits. Aces by double digits. There you go. Teece is on the Aces full game minus 6.5, and he's doubling up on the overs and over 88.5 first half, over 173.5 full game. And Luchase, Fox, and Londo on the under, and they got nice high 176.5. So I got to feel good about it. Take it away. Beautiful, beautiful work. Our friend Teece here from the Who Bangin' Sports Network. And what a great group of guys you have over there at Who Bangin'. Thank you so much for making time for us, Teece. We believe in you. Bounce back opportunity for you. We had him on Tuesday. Bounce back opportunity here on Thursday. We got him twice in 1 week. Daryl Turner says the Aces need to win the last of the remaining games to surpass the Houston Comets. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Teece, thank you for your time, my friend. Do you have any last words for the Cappers here supporting the show?
No, I appreciate every single one of you. I mean, you guys, you have a great chat, Jimmy. I mean, I used to be part of it. I just can't get up in time to be part of it anymore. I'm up too late, like betting other stuff, like stuff that I never bet about World Cup recently. But
World Cup kept you up late.
But last night KDO kept me up. I'm just a DJ, man. What can I say?
We love it, Teece. Please follow our guy Teece on Twitter at parlay Teece. Teece, thank you for making the time for us, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jimmy. See you Tuesday.
Yeah, see you Tuesday. Absolutely. Let's lock that in. There he is, a parlay Teece. All right, let's review all action here. We have here the friends and family parlay. We should actually get Teece to join in on the friends and family parlay. Let's bring Teece back if you don't mind. I wanted to get Teece's look on the friend. We have a friends and family parlay, Teece, and we don't have you, and you are a part of our friends and family. What would your leg of the friends and family parlay be?
I want to know what Tori Coker's leg is, because Tori Coker and I last season would like started doing that the parlay.
He thinks the Aces are going to smash.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I'd have to go. I'd have to go with him. You know, I mean, I think it's an Aces spot. It's definitely an Aces spot. This is too good of a team to get trounced the way that they've gotten trounced, and or should I say dominated the way they've gotten dominated. It's just, this is going to be a real telling game. It's a real telling game of what we're going to see come mid to late September.
So would you take them on the minus 6.5 then?
Yeah.
All right. That is the leg from Teece is the Aces minus 6.5. Teece, thank you, my friend. The family and friends and family parlay is complete. Now that Teece is involved, be well, my guy.
Thank you, bro.
So we have the friends and family in it. Jose, St. Louis, New York Mets under 10.5. Mike M is on the Browns plus 4. I am on the Dodgers, Milwaukee, Brewers first 5 under 4.5. And Teece is on the Aces minus 6.5. I have 4 bets. My big investment here is in the CFL, and maybe that's a mistake after what it's done to me here. But I like this spot a lot, and I'm attacking it. So in CFL, I'm on the first half under 22 and the full game under 45.5. Let's quickly just see if that has moved at all. I pray that it has moved in my direction. Let's just go to Bet365 here. No, they've moved it to 45. That's something. And again, the Tiger Cats are at minus 5, which is a lot. So I imagine the 22 has stayed. It has stayed, not even juice move. But we've gone from 45.5 to 45. And I'm on Edmonton field goal as the method of first score at plus 375 and Hamilton field goal at plus 300. Edmonton field goal and Hamilton field goal. There you go. And for saturated, he's got Milwaukee LA Dodgers first 3 under 2.5 with me. I love it. He's on the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5 and the Aces minus 3.5 first half and the Mets minus 1. I like it. Daryl Turner says the Houston Comets have the WNBA record for the most wins in WNBA history, and the Aces need to win 90% of their remaining games to touch it. No respect, Daryl. Thank you for letting us know that. Okay, so I have 4 bets in that Edmonton-Hamilton game. Then I bet the under 37.5 at 10:30 this morning. Once we talked about it 45 minutes later, it's at 35.5. A crazy move across the market. I didn't even believe it at first. Even 35 at some books. So I love that. I'm on the under 37.5 and tweeted that out when it was available. And, I almost didn't. I almost didn't bet it. I almost thought, you know what, let's just wait and talk it out. I would have just been livid if I had have done that. In baseball, Stacks play today is the Royals team total over 3.5 from our Justin McElvey. We have Mike M on the Tigers minus 132. Jose's on the first 5 under 4.5, and the Taint play today is on the first 5 under 4.5 as well. Jose's on the under 10.5 and the first 5 under 6 in Mets Cardinals. Mike M's got a ribeye play today on Goldschmidt, and the Mets are the first half of his hip to be square parlay. Mets. Second half is the LA Dodgers. Pimp slap play today for Mikey is the Diamondbacks. Jose is on the Padres minus 103. They're heads up against each other. Jose moved on the first 5 under 4 and Milwaukee LA Dodgers. The fact that he liked it at that number made me very happy because I got the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 115. And then we have the Dodgers minus 1 at plus 100. Spreadsheet play today from Ron Crawford is the Dodgers minus 1 at plus 101. BJ's best bet is the Dodgers money line at minus 145. So then we get into this very important stuff. We'd like to give a shout out to the cappers that are in our NFL cappers contest that are locked in. We have Peter Loshak, Dan Kelly, B. Lee, that's Billy Friedrich, Joe Yurkovich, Ron Crawford, Say Hey Jose, myself, TJ, the Nuke Worker, Morgan Spooner, the Dapper Capper. Oh, and then Super Unknown. He's the only person I don't know. Then in the Survivor contest, we only have 4 entries at this point, but we know everybody will be coming in. Peter Loshak, Billy Friedrich, myself, and TJ are in the Survivor contest. Not even Jose in the Survivor contest. We know he's coming. We know he'll be in there, and many, many others. So we thank you guys for signing up. We want to have $20,000 in the prize pool for the Cappers contest. So please sign up. And there's last year's winner laughing hysterically at our friend Jose Bouquett for only putting 4 picks in the final week of the season. There we go. Thank you, guys. Thank you all who joined our poker tournament last night. It was extremely fun, man. I can't wait to do it again. And I'm angry that I but so Londo and I don't mean to keep hammering this. Taylor Stevens is not on tonight. Taylor Stevens is not on. We're working on getting Taylor Stevens on the show. Those of you who follow Taylor Stevens know that 1 million people follow her, and for all the right reasons. And we're trying to get her onto the show, and I hope that she is on next week. We're working on it. It's not easy getting stars on to shows. Not easy.
But you'll be happy with the big set of tits on the program tonight. I'll tell you that, Londo.
Yes, Lonzo. No, that is true. You're maybe not as aroused as you were hoping to be, but you'll be impressed. You will be impressed. That's our show for today. Daryl Turner and Darren Turner, respect. Thank you, guys. Yes, Londo. Unfortunately, she's not. We're working on it, but she's got 1 million followers. It's we're trying to get her on it, and we will get her. Mally Mal, Aces first quarter for sure from Mally Mal. Says he knows someone who had 5K on the Saints money line versus the Chiefs, and he's on the Browns money line for 2K. Browns money line. Wow. We know. What do we know? We know that Sirianni doesn't care, but the public is on the Browns, and the market's moving towards the Eagles, which is a very scary. I'm sure that makes them uncomfortable. AOD, G. Martinez, Justin McElvey, Tori Coker, Mark Schillingberg, Billy Friedrich, Slow Jams Arsenault. Do you know our friend Emmanuel Arsenault, who is being a great receiver in the CFL football league, and he's back with the Elks tonight. Thank you guys for all of your support. Sean Pulliam, I hope you had a great birthday on Tuesday, and to our great friend Lou Chase Fox, happy birthday today. 39 years old. Life starts getting better and better and better around this age. So I'm sure it will do the same for you. Nasty Nate, Luke Murphy, Philly Eagle Flyer, Reclaim James, Equinimus, Tony Trill, Ronnie Ambergia, Eric Jones, Chase White, Morgan Spooner, Jay Peasy, Jungle Boy 223. Thank you guys for your support. Professor Chris, we truly have nothing without you guys. Rocco Rogers, Thank you. Now let's go out there and get that goddamn cash right now. Let's go out there and eat. A one and done sports, Liberty money line. Look at that. Look at that. One and done sports also on Eagles first half money line. And Daryl Turner, Inter Miami FC to league championship this week. At least 4 units. Wow. It's amazing. Which will, I don't follow it too closely, but as Inter Miami climbs will mean that the Toronto FC will be in the basement. Back to the old times. Back to the Toronto FC being doormats. But now we have a chance to sign Team Canada's head coach, which I think that we should do. We will see. The friends and family parlay nasty Nate. Teece gave us the Aces -6.5. I gave the Dodgers Milwaukee first 5 under 4.5. Mike M gave the Browns +4, and Jose gave St. Louis New York Mets under 10.5. Jose, thank you for your tireless work and hosting the show last night. You were great. And thank you for everything you do here for us at Betting with the Bag, the producer, Jose Bouquett. And let's go out there and get their fucking money. Don't forget, Unmuted Mike this evening at 10 p.m. Eastern. We also have The Balking Dead at 3:10 p.m. Eastern. Now let's go out there and get the money. God, I need this money, man. Leche! Hey, Los Bookmakers!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Pub Sports Radio preview, where I give you guys a preview of what's to come on the channel this week, content-wise. And of course, let's start off with our UFC schedulings here. We have our guy Clint, the star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, on 3 times this week, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Check him out there, and he is joined by his guest, Lucrative MMA, as well as we have a Contenders Series stream this week, but this time, members only Contenders Series stream. Danny and Preston, no boxing this week, but they'll take their talents there and do the damn thing. And also, Stat Diggers, DFS by the numbers, and Uncle Wheezy take their talents Sunday nights, and they dominate the UFC cards statistically. They dive deep into it and have a great time doing it, so tune into their show Sunday nights. As for baseball here, we have The Balking Dead, hosted by Sharpie's Bets there. Best damn prop show in all the land, breaking down pitcher props as he can only do so. Connor McPitts, Spin Doc, Mike M, Man of the Pin Flat Play, all grace their presence with Sharpie, as well as LJ from H-Town. So it's a great show there, as always, Monday through Friday, as well as Say Hey Plays every day, except for Thursdays. Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. And on the weekends, we go 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, breaking down the entire baseball card, every game in depth, and the only way we can do it, and having some fun along the way. Next, we have The Sesh, aka Medicate Mondays now. The Sesh presents Medicate Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Dutch, Gabby Cabber, joined by guys like Razor, LJ, Mike, the aforementioned, all in there as well, doing what they do best. The true connoisseurs, breaking down the card and imbibing some sweet Mary Jane while they can. Next, let's talk about our guys. Low Shack in the Bag. Jimmy and Pete reunited on Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern as well there. They break down the card every game. CFL, NFL, doesn't matter. Pete and Jimmy always break it down on Tuesdays, and Jimmy takes Betting with the Bag Wednesday through Friday, every day, same time, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, breaking down the cards with a variety of different guests. Shout out to our guy, Jimmy the Bag. Don't forget as well, we have our contest, UFC contest every week. When there is a UFC event, the boys get together and they give cash prizes when you pick the winners and how they win in the UFC contest. And don't forget the Cappers contest and the Survivor Pool, both live right now. You can sign up $100 each on the Pub Sports Radio website. And this week, our contest, our poker tournament starts this week. Do not forget, hosted by Bet Online on the 16th this week. We do our poker tournament. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. $25 buy-in on our friends at Bet Online. I'll be hosting a live stream as well. You can watch the poker hands live with everyone on the live stream, and you can join the fun on Bet Online. So sign up today and use our link on our website, pubsportsradio.com. Appreciate everyone for watching this video. Hit the like button, subscribe while you're here. Drop a comment below your video and let us know what you liked about the video. Let us know what you're on as well. So don't forget to say hey, guys. See you guys next time.